All right, so welcome to the exchange. So, first and foremost, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just here to give you my opinion on what I see in the stock markets. Looking to the left to see what has happened, then looking to the right to see what may happen. Do your own due diligence. Make sure you invest money in things you know about. If you don't know, invest in yourself and learn. That's the best way you can make money out here and have some security in these markets. So, let's look at what happens to stock markets so we can get a better idea and some security in exchange. Welcome to the Exchange Show.
All right, y'all, let's get started. If you haven't heard, just letting you know, the tariffs for Apple, all the electronics that everybody in America buys all the time, they just said, what tariffs? It's time for the weekend. Let's get some news you can't do jack about except set up some limit orders. So you may be able to set up a limit order today because it seems like Apple is most likely going to be taken off. Of course, there is a gap up here at the $207 range, all the way up until the $220 range. I'm just going to be real with you. The buy signal, of course, came out on that Wednesday when everybody's buy signals came out. What I'm going to say is this may not be, okay, this may not be a complete V shaped recovery. So be careful because we came down a good amount of money from here. That's the high, right? We want to come down, make it all the way to the bottom of the wick. Man, look, that ain't even a damn high. All right, here we go. There. That's 34% off the high. So even if you're like, I don't want to buy Apple ever, well, would you buy something if it was pretty much 35% off? Let's be honest. So it's still at a good buy. Even if you're like, I don't know if I want to buy it, you can still buy it. And remember, if you're under the 200-day moving average, that is a good place to buy anything in the stock market. You know, it's not saying it's going to turn around right away, but it's saying you're probably buying this at a discount. So 228 is where the 200-day moving average is. That's for Apple. And tomorrow is probably going to take off. So that means on 414, see how many calls are on Apple. Now we're going to go through pretty much just that's the biggest one. So Apple, if you're like, I can't afford to do an Apple call, I can't buy Apple. Well, there's TQQQ. This one is a triple leverage ETF. It's based off of the Qs or the QQQs. And right now it's at 48 bucks. It has already filled a gap to the upside that it made. And there is another gap that is starting at $53, goes up to $56. It's 200-day moving average, 73 bucks. If tech is taking off this week because there are no more tariffs on pretty much major tech, then this is probably going to go up to TQQQ. Now, we could go through all the tech sector, but just say this. If it's tech, it's probably going to take off. All right, just be honest with you. So, this week, I just want you guys to, if you don't have the money, don't worry about it. Watch, wait, learn. You got the SPY, of course. I'm always looking at the SPY, so it's a lot of stuff on the chart. We had the same thing. We had a lot of orders triggered. Now, one thing I will say is when we had those major downturns in history, so 2008, 2000, 2020, you would get a day like this, that Wednesday where all of the volume came back in, right? So currently we're up 13% on a 21% push to the downside. I want to be honest with you. A lot of this was based on news. If you were able to get the news early, you were able to take advantage of it. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. We have not been able to leave the range of this candle, but I think by tomorrow, this will change for all of these major sectors, especially tech and, of course, the SPY. We're probably going to break out of this and we're probably going to go to the upside. Now, there is a gap here. It starts at around 547, goes up to 554. So gaps are, to me, I like to look at them as target areas. If the price is going to be shooting up, then I can say I want to do a call and choose this right here, 548, as my strike price. It's out the money. But if it's shooting up like the way they say it's going to shoot up, I'll probably get a good amount of profit on this. So take your time, guys. Go back, look at the history on those major drops: 2020, 2008, 2022. Those years, you had days just like this. And what happened was these were pullbacks to a continuation to the downside. So just be wary. You can make money on these pullbacks, but don't think it's a V shaped recovery right away. Let it prove it to you. If it breaks this 574 in the SPY, if you break 574 in the SPY with good volume, then hey, look, it's on and popping. But until then, this is just a pullback, in my opinion. And that pullback, we're going to start this one here, and we're going to start this one here. Let's see how steep it goes. So what I'm doing is I'm doing an inner and outer trend line. The inner and outer trend line, for me, helps me recognize if a trend is being broken or continued. Now, as long as we're in this trend line going up, oh, lovely. If I break it, I may have to adjust it. And adjusting is not bad. But if it's to the point where I can't even adjust the trend line, then that means it has to break this outer trend line. When it breaks that outer trend line, that means the continuation has started. And it has to be with good volume and follow through. So that's a tip for you: the inner outer trend lines that can help you identify a trend. And if a trend breaks, you're looking for your next trend that can let you know, hey, I can really get into this play at this time. So thanks a lot for watching. This was the Exchange Show. We're talking about tech. This week, I'm telling you, it's going to be, well, I don't know. It's the same thing as last week. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. So take the information for what it is. Do your due diligence. If there's something you're interested in, I suggest you might start taking a little nibble at it. But that's just my opinion. Remember, I can't tell you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor yet. So I'll see you next week on the next episode of The Exchange.